Hi everyone, welcome to my end of January updates. I'm going to start with my Aerides quinquevulnera. It was in bloom for, I want to say a couple weeks, but blooms are fading now. So that's unfortunate, but looking forward to blooms next year, hopefully. And this is my Brassavola cucullata red form. It doesn't look like much, but it looks like the roots are actually attaching to the rock. So it's definitely a lot more sturdier now, which is great. So this is my Staurochilus fasciatus, and there's a lot of spotting on it. I was able to get Phal NOID from a member of my Orchid Society, so I've applied that to this plant. So hopefully all the new leaves will be spot free and hopefully isn't spread anymore. And this is my Papilioanthe taiwaniana, and it's pushing out some nubbins. I have a feeling they're not flower spikes because that was my mistake before. I thought they were flower spikes. They might just be new leaves or stems. And this is my RLC Durigan. This is the latest growth, and I had to put a splint on it because it was very floppy. I didn't want it to curve like this one here. So that's why it has this. I'm not quite sure if it's hardened yet. I really hate that it's grown sideways like this. And this is my Phal fimbriata, and usually just blooms one at a time. There's at least 3 buds on this spike, 1 on this spike, and 2 on this spike. Yeah, so if the buds mature properly, I should get 6 blooms, hopefully at the same time, so that'll be great. And these are my Vanda leucostele seedlings. I check them every day for thrips because they have a recurring problem of them. And I currently have a few that are isolated in the kitchen. But so far, these ones are definitely stable. That one's fine. This one has been fine. This one so far as well. This one maybe, but haven't seen any adults. I've seen some spotting, but haven't seen any nymphs on them. So far so good. This is my Aeridocentrum Gewgaw. And this one I also treated with the Phal NOID. Although it seems like some of the spotting got a bit worse, but hopefully it doesn't spread anymore. I'll probably give it another treatment as well. And these are my Paraphalaenopsis laycockii seedlings. These 2 are growing very huge, especially this one in the back there. So that's great. You can see I put the one on the kulog on the bottom of the shelf now. I just think hanging it up, put it too close to the light, so that's why it's there. And that's also the same reason for Trichoglottis pusilla to be also on the shelf. And you can see there's a couple nubbins growing. There's one there, and then one there on the, I guess, cakey or growth. And yeah, this one definitely is a new growth on the side. And this is my Vanda roeblingiana, and it has 1 root that's grown outside the vase, so I think I need to get a bigger container for it. It's lost 1 bottom leaf, and it's going to be losing this one as well. This is Ketucidum Gladiatorium crossed with barbatum, and it's finally starting to go into dormancy. It is a little shriveled, so I might give it a little bit of water just to make sure it's not so dehydrated. And this is Galeandra baueri, so I did end up repotting it. Just cleaned up the way it was in the pot, and it's pushing out a bud. I think last time it was in bud, but the bud blasted, so hopefully this one will pull through. So this is my Phal javanica, and it has a lot of buds on it, so that's great. This is my Dendrobium virgineum, and it's starting to push out a nubbin on this cane, so I'm hoping that'll turn out to be a flower spike. And this is my Dendrobium linawianum, and it has a few nubbins. Hard to tell if they're going to be flowers or if they're going to be new growths, or cakeys, I guess. I've been giving it a little bit of water because it's so dehydrated, but I don't want to encourage cakeys forming. I think there's one already forming on that one there, and the 2 nubbins on the bottom there might be new growths, but I'm hoping that one, at least on the one on the top there, is a bud. And these are my Dendrobium tobaense seedlings. They're doing well. There's 4 in this pot, but I think only this one is still alive. The other ones, there's no activity, and they're yellow and a little bit shriveled, so that's not good. This one's doing great, but so far they're all still alive, which is great. And this is my NOID Phal, and it's in spike. What I like about the spike is that all the buds seem to be facing the same direction, so that's really good. So I usually have it hanging, but now that the spike has started to grow and is continuing to grow, I've left it in the same spot on the floor, so I think this should be a pretty good show. And this is my Vanda cristata, and there's a nubbin in one of the leaves here. So I think it's going to be flower spike. And this is Bulbophyllum annandale, and it's pushing out a new growth. And this is Bulbophyllum sanguineo punctatum, and it's also pushing out a new growth finally, and it seems to be growing well, which is great. And this is Dendrobium igneonovium, and ever since I put it on the heat mat, it's pushed out a new root, so that's pretty good. Every day I keep it moist just to keep the humidity up around it, so that's good. Alrighty, so that's my video for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!